It's big dog season, and you can't stay still because you want it. Mm-hmm. Talk that talk, George. You still scraping your plate because you're hungry. Mm-hmm. Talk that talk.
Good morning. Today is Thursday. It is April the 24th. The year is 2025. I'm sitting here having a cup of coffee. Last night, there was a major storm swept through my neighborhood, and y'all, it looked like a hurricane and a tornado, and King Kong ran through this neighborhood. And there was tree limbs and trees down. Massive trees fell, bringing out the power lines and bringing down the power lines. I was trying to get to my house and trying to take various ways to get at to end up, there's a couple ways in, a couple ways out of here, but when you got trees blocking the way, it was almost like kind of trapped. So there were trees blocking the roads and power lines down. It was pitch black, and I swear it was so much debris, garbage cans knocked over. When I was at the gym, I didn't see any rain, but when I got over here, it looked like a hurricane had swept through here. So I went through. We didn't get our lights back on until about 7 o'clock this morning, so I had to come in and eat. I was gonna cook dinner last night, and I'm going to grab some chicken wings. I ate my little chicken wings and took the dogs out in the rain. It was pouring down raining last night when I took them out. And threw their wet asses in them cages. I was like, too wet. I took me a shower. And I went to bed. I said, okay, nothing I can do. We had no power. It was pitch black, dark in here. And if you ever been in a house like this, pitch black is black. Like you can't see shit. So I said, well, in order for me not to get injured, I better go up here and take a shower and get my ass right in bed, which is what I did. So luckily, the lights were back on this morning. So the last few days have been productive. I'll say that much. I've been able to get a lot accomplished. I've had some dark periods, though. I have. In fact, I went to the mall a few days ago to get something. And my wallet is disintegrating, so I need to get a new wallet. And as I was getting to the mall, it just kind of dawned on me, well, hell, I just bought a brand new wallet. I could just use his wallet. And I was like, well, do I really want to use his wallet? Because, so I was contemplating, should I buy a wallet or use Earl's wallet that he just bought? Or should I just keep it and put it up? I could either use the new wallet he has or I put it up. So I was contemplating stuff. And then it really dawned on me as I was sitting in the mall, as I was walking, I hadn't eaten anything all day, y'all, which is very unusual for me never to have gone that long without eating. And it hit me, I said, man, I ain't ate nothing. And I don't know what I was doing, but for some reason I hadn't eaten anything. So I went on down to the food court at Lenox Mall and I got some food to eat. And I went and found a seat in the food court. And I was just eating the food and just sitting there by myself. And I don't know, it's hard to even explain, but y'all, I was in a dark place. And I was eating, and this darkness just seemed to overwhelm me. And some thoughts entered into my head, like, man, I'd rather be dead than going through this darkness and this pain that keeps sneaking up on me. And I was sitting there literally contemplating suicide. And I'm sitting there and I started to cry because I was just like, okay, what's going on here? And I was going to pick up the phone to call a friend of mine because I said, I got to call somebody because I'm not really feeling very well. And I said, no, I don't want to involve them in my situation right now. I was going to call a friend of mine. So as I sat there eating and still trying to figure out, what was going on, next thing I know, the guy I was going to call, Fendrix, was literally standing right in front of me. He was standing there in front of me like, what's going on? And I was like, and I looked up and he was standing there. I was like, where the hell you come from? He was like, I was up here shopping to buy some clothes at Forever 21 going out of business. And he said something told him to walk through the food court. And he was about to leave. Something told him to turn around and look. And he saw me sitting way on the other side of the food court by the table by myself. And he said he raced over there because he was like, he just knew something was not right. He's like, something's not right. Yeah. That's a hard one to explain. Because I was in a really low spot, really, really, really low place right there, really dark place. And just out of nowhere, Fendrick showed up. He didn't even know why he was over there in the food court. And he saw me and came right over. We sat there talking for a while. But he knew something, that something's not right. And something wasn't right. So we were able to sit and talk. And that was kind of, So I am doing better. I think when you're going through a crisis or something, for some people, it's fine to surround yourself with a lot of people. Right now, I'm not at that point, Chad. You know what I'm saying? I just can't deal with people. Some people have been very comforting, but some people have not been. I think some people say things and I don't think they even realize what they're saying. And I just take it day by day. Yesterday was a good day. I got a lot accomplished. With my mother, she's having some problems. I had to take her car. She's not going to be able to drive anymore. I took the car when all this shit was going on. Stuff was going on with Earl before he passed away. But after Earl passed, I thought, well, maybe I'll put a little tracking device on Mama's car and then I could keep an eye on it and she could drive the car again. That's not feasible and she's not going to be able to. There were some things that happened, some dangerous things that happened. My mother was driving somewhere in Atlanta and got lost, and some people realized that this woman was in distress. And they used her cell phone to call me, and there was some, the white folks, they always come to the rescue. There was some good white folks, thank goodness. So they called me and they said, hey, your mother's lost, she's confused, she doesn't know where she lives, she doesn't know where she's going, where are you? I was actually in the dentist's office about to get a cleaning on my teeth. And I literally had to get out that chair and say, y'all, let me go get my mother because I can't take another tragedy so soon. You're going to take these tragedies every 10 years. Yeah, you can't do that, I said, because she didn't get. And I put the tracking device on her vehicle. And I was using the tracking device to monitor her. But I wasn't, that particular morning, I heard it going off, but I wasn't paying any attention to it. But as I was driving over to look to see where my mother was at, I noticed something. My mother had got in that car at 8:30 that morning. I heard the car go off at 8:30 that morning when I got up. My mother had been driving around Atlanta in circles since 8:30 that morning. It was now 12 noon. Circles. Nowhere in particular. Then she would park somewhere. And I'm like, well, where is she parking? And she just was driving around, just lost. So when I got over there, I said, well, where are you going? She said, I was trying to go to your brother's house. I said, okay. I said, Mom, you need to follow. So I had her very carefully follow me. She wasn't far from her home, a couple of miles from where she lives at. But it's apparent that she's not going to be able to drive no longer unless somebody's in the car with her. She hasn't had any car wrecks or anything dangerous happen. but she gets lost and frustrated. And my mother knows this city like I know this city, so where she was at, she's been on the street 1,000 times. Where I picked her up in Inman Park, I said, we've been here before. She was parked from a place called the Trolley Barn. I said, Mom, we've been to events here at this place. And it just dawned on me that she was incapable of being able to drive herself. And that's how then when I went back over there yesterday, she couldn't get her TVs working. So I went over there to get the televisions working. And as I got those working, the neighbors were telling me that my mother was stumbling around late at night. At 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, my mother was outside of her apartment, wandering the building. So there's a lot going on, y'all. I'm like, oh Lord, I gotta get out that damn building. I have to get her out of there because clearly, she's having some issues and may be incapable of, I thought that building would be good for her because she's got a lot of friends and people in her age. It's a great building, and all those people came up and said, hey, we were watching your mother, but, she's... So I would love for my mother to live here, but of course coming here is not probably going to be healthy for her because there's nothing here. There's nobody out here. My mother lives, she can walk to the grocery store, she can walk the neighborhood. There's some things over there that she can literally walk to. There's a coffee place. My mother gets out, she's a very active individual. So if I'm taking the car, so anyway, try to figure that path forward. What's best for her, what's safe for her. And on top of me going through my own crisis over here, I'm still trying to plan Earl's Memorial Service, which I'm working on now. I'm working on that. And sort through all these issues that come with the death of someone. The financial issues and the paperwork and all this stuff. Yeah, I've had some good days and I've had some bad days, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. The good days have been great, but the bad days have been awful. I try to focus on the good days. I only want to remember the good stuff between Earl and I. But I find myself in the middle of the day picking up the phone and saying, I'm going to call Earl. I saw something about real estate and I was reading this article. I said, let me send this article to Earl. And then it hits you. And I literally had to pull over yesterday. I was sitting in traffic and reading something, and I'm going to send this to Earl. And y'all had to pull over. And just get myself together. I can't be the only person who has picked up a cell phone or sent a text message or email to someone who has passed away. I know I'm not the only person. I can't be that damn crazy. So, it's hot in here. Last night, y'all, no heat on, no air conditioning on. I had to open up them windows. There was a storm blowing through here. I said, I hope it don't blow this damn house away. This house was rocking and reeling in that damn storm. I thought I could just lay there with no electricity, dark as hell. I couldn't even see what was going on, but I could hear it. This morning, the backyard's a mess. They knocked, to see the storm knock down my neighbor's fence and blew through there. Yeah, I gotta focus on the good days. I am trying to get back to doing normal videos, which are so much stuff going on over here. I can't even go through all the details of everything that's happening here. It's just y'all, I be here all day. But I'm getting back to doing normal videos. I'm working on it. And anyway, that's where we are, y'all. That's where I am right now. It's crazy how stuff happens in life, and yeah. A lot of people have wanted to come over here, y'all, but it's very complicated for me. Because some people just say some very bizarre things. I think they mean well. I think some people, I was talking to a friend last night, I think he meant well. But there's a lot of stuff that he was saying, I really didn't want to, I mean, I think he really meant well because he'd been ringing his phone off the hook with y'all. Some of y'all have, I think we cross boundaries. And I'm not a boundary crosser when it comes to people in whatever they're dealing with. You can't, crossing boundaries, Chris, some people just don't know. I think that's one of the issues that me and Earl had in our relationship. Outsiders crossing boundaries. One of the biggest issues is that we had so many outsiders who inserted themselves into our relationship and created so much conflict. And I don't think they knew the conflict that they were creating. That's why if you have a relationship and you're in a marriage, keep people away. Keep them out of your home. Go on vacation by yourself. Enjoy each other's company. The biggest issues that Earl and I weathered, the biggest storms that we had in our relationship besides this drinking problem, were people, outsiders, interfering. And even in death, they're still interfering, if that makes sense. That's why I don't want to be bothered. I know some people mean well, y'all, but I'm good. I'm sitting here, I got a cup of coffee, I got some music I'm about to put on, I got 2 wet dogs down in the base, I'm about to take them to get groomed to make sure it don't rain no more. I got a messy yard, I got to get somebody to clean up all these branches over here. Life goes on, I'm okay. I've had some good days, I've had some dark days. I don't know how Fendrix showed up that fast and how Fendrix literally appeared in front of me at Lennox Mall Food Court when I was having probably the worst day. And I was probably at my lowest point. And he just appeared from nowhere. But I was grateful he was there. So with that said, I got to get to the post office. I got to mail off some documents for Earl. I got to do a bunch of stuff that has to be done immediately. I'm getting phone calls from people. I wish that Earl and I had really taken care of a lot of stuff when he was alive, but after the fact, I'm like, okay, this got to be done. And I guess we were too busy trying to keep him alive. Too busy dealing with the issues of life itself. But I guess this is anyway. I don't know. I probably would still have to deal with these issues I'm dealing with anyway, because there was so much going on. Earl came home from the hospital. He was here 2 weeks. No, he was here 2 weeks. So I appreciate all the love you all have shown me, because I do appreciate it. And thank you for the cards and the gifts. That I am grateful. And it's going to take some time for me. It's a lot harder than what I thought this was going to be. A lot harder. I'm just being honest. One thing I've always wanted you all to know on my YouTube channel is the truth. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I don't want to be lied to. Give me the fucking truth. I don't care how hard shit is. Give me all the truth. This has not been easy for me. And I'm taking it day by day. I'm dealing with my mother, Earl's death, my mental health. Still going to therapy for my shoulder. Got to do that. Keeping the house clean, washing clothes, feeding the dogs, taking them to the vet. Life is going on. It has to. It has to. I spoke to Earl last night. Kind of crazy, huh? I came out the basement. The house was dark, no electricity. And I came up the stairs, and I heard some noise in this house. And I said, what the hell? I was like, and just that fast, I said, Earl, you home? And then again, it hit me. Yeah. Anyway, today is Thursday. It is April 24th. The year is 2025. You all have a great Thursday. I'm out. And let me get some stuff done. I got a lot of stuff I need to do today. I'm out of here, and you all have a great Thursday.